Okay, welcome back. Good morning, everybody. This is day 6 of the 100K Ftmo challenge. Sorry about all the mess there. For some reason, my settings got reset and I can't seem to get I have an ultra-wide monitor. I'm trying to fit that within the aspect ratio of the streaming software that I'm using. I'm sorry if it's a little small today. Hopefully you guys can see everything. If you notice here, I also posted in the community tab on my YouTube channel. I went and did some errands in the afternoon, or early afternoon for me, so right around when the news was playing out, I was away from my computer. I came back and saw that we had multiple opportunities, like this was a golden opportunity here to go short. Let's see if you can see my cursor. Yeah, you can, okay. Go short right here. You had one right here, and this is on the 15-minute. There's about 3 or 4 more, but what we were looking for played out, and the day prediction for the high and low of the day that we did played out exactly. So that's nice to see, but it's disappointing that I missed it. It's just part of following your plan, right? When it's this late in the year, with the conditions that we have and NFP week, I'm just not going to walk away from my computer and leave something open. That's just one of my rules. And I paid the price for that because I could have passed my challenge yesterday. So it's a little frustrating, but we deal with it, get over it. Let's get some of this erased so we're not confused. And we'll begin our analysis. I'm a little bit behind, so just bear with me and we'll get these lines on the chart. like I said yesterday, I don't really hold a bias for the week. We're kind of gyrating around the weekly open right now. If I had to be pressured to say one way or other, perhaps down. I was thinking yesterday that we could get up into this daily SIBI, daily SIBI. This bad boy waiting up here, but we've moved so far away from it, I don't think anything but NFP is going to be able to do that, or we're just going to leave it alone. Also notice we have an IOFED institutional order flow entry drill right here, so maybe it doesn't need to come up after all. We've taken the daily low, and looks like we're coming to take the daily low again, which would then put me back at my targets for what we were projecting last week, which was at least down to the busy EQ, which is the daily buy side inefficiency, sell side imbalance. That's a good target for today or the next day, I believe. Just based on what we're seeing here, it's only 250 pips away, so that would lead me to believe that we could definitely see that. There is no hourly, there's an hourly low, hourly swing low, hourly previous day low. So on the hourly chart, those are the hourly arrays. I don't think we'd be using them for reversals. These would probably just be targets. So just based on what I'm seeing, I would like to see this 1 hour bull order block fail, along with this bigger one over here. So that's what we're going to be looking for. Also going to be very cautious with my position sizing today and my timing, so it may be that we're just going to wait for, we could wait a full 30 minutes before taking a trade after equity open, or it could be one of those things where it likes to move early, right before or right after equity open. Also remaining cognizant that I could be wrong on the bias for the day as well, so we're just going to see what we look at what we get and see if we can find any setups here today. That would be an ideal scenario right there, I think, for what I'd like to see. We've got about 3.5 minutes till equity opens, so we're about to find out. Yeah, on the 5-minute, we just missed the fair value gap entry. I was just about to click the button, but it just ran away from us, and it's just too far away at this point. So we're gonna see if we can get a chance to get in again, but we may have missed it already. Like I said, sometimes it likes to move early. We've got news at 9 o'clock. You know, look at it go. Going for that 15-minute. That's unfortunate, man. I really wanted to grab that, but it is what it is. We could maybe get a close proximity entry, but we need to see the equity open come back up and give us some sort of retracement. The hourly candle is looking pretty good for downside too. I'm going to see if we can get an entry off selling short off the EQ of this 1 hour bull order block as it fails, or something better. Okay, here we go. There was a 1 minute fair value gap that just formed. We got about 3 seconds to equity open. Let's see what we can catch. So we got a close proximity entry. We're going to put our stop loss at about 1%. And we're looking for it to go down to the previous daily low. Sweep yesterday's low at least. We just tagged a small fair value gap down here, but I think it's got some more room to expand to the downside, as we're currently seeing. I missed my entry on the real account, but that's okay. That's not what we're focused on. We'll see if we can at least get a 1-to-1 today. I went ahead and scratched that because of this aggressiveness. Lost about 115 bucks, that's not bad. That's not a full stop, so we don't have our loss recovery rules that come into effect. So we can take pretty much any trade that we want since it was just a scratch. I was looking to take profits first, but wasn't able to get that. That's the danger of late proximity entries, man. You can suffer through a bunch of drawdown. Let's see here. Yeah, it's a good thing we scratched out. It may still go down, but we need to figure out whether or not it's going to give us a re-entry. Tricky week, guys. It's NFP, so just remember that it's not supposed to act like normal price delivery. Still haven't gone down to yesterday's low yet. Let's look at our hourly chart, or 15 at least. This was a reaction off of an order block. I don't know if you can see it over here. We had to be super quick on that. I'm glad we only took a $100 loss, so that was not bad. Let's go down to the 1 minute. And take and sell obvious sell side liquidity. Back up in the EQ of this order block. Now we're above it, into this 1 minute fair value gap. Maybe that was a return to fair value gap. Yeah, it was. So we're entered again. There we go, just in time. Tricky day, guys, tricky day. Let's see some expansion. There it is. We should be targeting the yesterday's low at the very least. I want to see it continue downward strongly from here. Not a lot of upward movement. Got a 1.5 risk on the board, but the EQ of that order block could hold, so we'll come back down to about a 1.2 risk. And we're about 69, 50. We're about 25 points away from yesterday's low. Wow, okay, so we're taking some massive heat right now, which is not what I like to see at all, but it may just be filling. Okay, yeah, we're just filling, supposedly. Let's see. These weeks are just so crazy with the overshoot, the sloppiness. We're coming back up into a bearish order block. Tap the EQ of the bearish order block, and if we're right, we should see some continuation to the downside. If not, then we'll scratch again, hopefully for positive this time. Let me go down to the 15-second and see what we've got here. That's great. There we go. Good so far, but let's just wait. Scratch again. Made up our loss. Wow, fellas, this is just crazy. went ahead and re-entered with another position, which normally wouldn't be allowable, but compounding risk. So for today, that is. I want to see it move pretty quickly away from here. Okay, taking some profits. We're now about 1% gain for the day, even with those first couple of stumbles that we had, the scratches. With the news coming up, I think I want to close one of these positions nearly all the way. About to sweep yesterday's low, likely continue down through it. There we go. It's nice to see. And again, as we mentioned earlier, we're targeting down here. We're going to be targeting this daily busy EQ if we can get there. I'm going to take some more profits. And let's get rid of that one. Tell you what, I think I want to get out completely because I don't know what's about to happen for the day. It could just run from here and we missed out, but that's fine. What I'm going to do now is demo trade. So we made about 1.3% on the day. It's just not bad. If you guys can't tell already by watching my stream, I changed my mind a lot. I'm a scalper. That's my style, so I stick with my style. My system's based on my style. It has some flexible rules that allows me to scalp. If I take a full R loss, I have to engage in like loss recovery protocols, things like that. If I'm simply scratching out for $100 loss or profit, you know, something smaller, something like that, then I can trade as if I hadn't traded for the day and continue to take entries. So that's where we were at. We took some significant heat. For some reason, this move right here happened. I mean, you would think, here, let me pull this over where you can see the perspective. You would think that's a fair value gap fill, downside, just straight downside. But on days like this, weeks like this, December price action, I mean, this is the shit that you get. All right, so we've got a continuation fair value gap. Somehow I think we're going to come sweep some of this stuff, but you know, I could be wrong and we could just shit the bed from here, which is also just as likely. It's a uncertain week, but we've taken hourly sell side liquidity, so and we've taken yesterday's low. So I'm just gonna play it safe and we'll just be doing demo from here. So that first scratch, we lost 115. The second scratch, we made 32. I took profits on half. Wait, no, let's see, 3 scratches. So there's 3 times we scratched, and then partials were taken on the positions that we took that played out right here, if you can see it. See if I can make this bigger for you guys. So you can see here. I don't want to cover up price action, so. See how normally price would just be dumping from here, and it may still, but look how aggressively it's just playing around in these ranges. You just don't want to get caught with your pants down on NFP week, right? So yeah, we might see our continuation down from here, but it's better safe than sorry. Okay guys, do you see where this 115 is? That was our first scratch that we took on when that retracement happened. And then the second and the third scratch outs. And now we have our full-size positions that we started taking profits on and then closed out completely when we came down below yesterday's low. So yeah, we did all right today. Believe we're up 1.3-ish% for the day, which is not bad. Excuse me, not bad at all, considering I've only got a 2.5% to 3% weekly target, being super conservative with this. One of the other things, guys, that I'll mention, the hardest thing for me is if I close the stream after trading for the morning, and let's say I scalped out some profits and our ultimate objective hadn't been reached yet. The hardest thing for me is to come back to the computer and watch these setups in the afternoon start popping up for the actual move for the day, and I can't do anything about it because I just refuse to take a trade that's not live stream. I mean, that's the whole point of this challenge for me, is to live stream every single trade that I'm taking. So that's my commitment to you guys. It hamstrings me a little bit. It makes this go a little bit slower than it normally would. Normally I'd probably pass the first stage of the challenge in 3 days, 4 days, something like that. That's what I've done in the past. As I mentioned yesterday, I used to try to rush these things really bad. So I'd pass the first stage, and then I'd get to verification, and I'd try to go whole hog and just below the daily loss limit and things like that. So no more of that. We're going to stay disciplined, stick to trading our plan, our system. Instead of ending the stream, I'm going to go ahead and let this play out for a little bit so you guys can watch it. And I'm going to take a quick break, maybe get something to drink, and I'll be back shortly. I mean, it's pretty obvious where it's going right now. Sorry, before I take my break here. It's obvious where it's going. I've made my money for the day. I don't want to give any of it back. So I'm okay with not participating in the biggest move. It could be that we could take a smaller position size, and that's something I might consider, but I want to wait for the 9 o'clock news driver because there still is a lot of buy-side liquidity that has not been engaged yet. And we just took a previous daily low, so it gets really tricky once you sweep that liquidity. It'll dick around for a few minutes and make you think that it's going to continue, and it possibly could. But with the news driver coming up here in about 5 minutes, and this candle here, the 15-minute candle, it seems like it could be forming the discount line of a 15-minute fair value gap, in which case we would see the news driver likely do something like this. I mean, even coming up into this and this order block here, this bearish order block, you could see something like this. Bam. Dick around for a while and then shit the bed. I mean, it's either that or continues going straight down. But I tend to think that we're going to build up some liquidity, some internal range liquidity, and a consolidation range over the lunch hour. That's just my thoughts based on what I've seen, you know, how this typically plays out. Again, it's NFP week too, so that throws things off a bit, as we saw yesterday morning. And yeah, let's see what we get. Yeah, there you go. You see all the people that got baited. Excuse me, they got baited there to take that continuation short, and then now we have this huge news driver back up into at least the order block here, probably a little bit further. It would be nice to see it sweep some buy side. We didn't get a lot of buy side swept. Let me see if I can show you my current stats on my Ftmo account. So just give me a second. See if I can pop this window up for you guys. There we go, y'all. So there's the stats. That's what we've got so far on the challenge. It's been 5 days. Again, this typically could go a lot quicker, but I want to make sure that every single trade I'm taking is live streamed. So that just kind of puts us in a little bit of a box. No big deal. Doing pretty good. I mean, I'd like to see the RR a little bit better, but again, you know, I didn't really have a choice. Starting late in December, I've got to be real nimble and just hyper scalping essentially. Typically my RR will come out around 1.8, 2.2 on average on any given month on a real account, which is exactly where you want to be. I mean, with that you can lose, I mean, you don't want to lose, but you could lose, you know, 60-something% of the time, still eke out a profit over the long term. When it comes to RR versus win rate, the RR's where it's at. That's the king right there. The higher your RR, the better you're always going to be doing. The more cushion, equity cushion you're going to have when you do hit those loss streaks. And you will hit loss streaks no matter how good your system or your strategy is. It's just going to happen. You know, having a trading system in place is super important, and you know, the rules of your strategy, not so much important as, you know, having a complete system. But if you're putting all these pieces together and using them properly, it's going to save you a lot of trauma, we'll just say that, and you'll mathematically basically be guaranteed to be profitable over the long term. Now, I didn't say every day, but over the long term you will. Also, Ftmo's kind of jacked up when it calculates your trades. It counts each partial that I take as a trade, which is kind of strange. But yeah, let me show you my trading journal as well. Let's see if I can get this to scroll down. Do you see how it's like 15, 25, 25, 35? I start off with 50s and 100s usually. And let me see. Is there a way to... No, there's not. Okay. But yeah, I mean, it counts it as, you know, each partial you take when you close, it counts it as a separate trade, which is kind of goofy. But that's okay, no big deal. As you can see, that scratch loss we took today, that 115. Oh, hey, there we go. And as I mentioned before, I'm a scalper, so you'll notice most of my entries and exits are super short. One thing I did notice about myself too is typically if I'm holding on to a trade too long, it usually ends up being a loss. For me at least. Might not be true for you. Yeah, there you go. And don't worry about the trade that's running right now. I mean, I don't really care about it. It's psychologically just for me to have a trade on, basically. Whether it wins or loses, it's a demo paper trade. I don't really care. But it's helping me to not FOMO into anything else. It looks like we could see a continuation to the downside now. Actually looks really good. Yeah, look at that. It's about 5 minutes into the news driver. And it looks like it may have been enough time to play out. Let's see, if we were to do a 10 lot, which is like a fifth of our normal position size, that's still pretty wide stop loss there. Let me see. 1 minute, there's no fair value gap. Let's go to the 5 minutes, see what we got here. Also no fair value gap. That leads me to believe we could run and close in the 15 minute. But of course anything's possible on this week. At least come back up here and near midnight open. There's got to be some sort of buy side, significant buy side that we tag for me to feel comfortable taking even like a... See, because look, I know everybody's like, well, this is a fair value gap and, you know, we're already at consequent encroachment. Why don't you take a short, Jordan? Because we swept the previous daily's low already. And even though I think the bias for the day is down, again, I believe that lunch hour is going to see some back and forth movement here. Also, this fair value gap is sitting below a PD array, which is this order block. Let me draw that out for you. And of course, ICT says that if there's a PD array sitting above a fair value gap, chances are it's going to get tagged. So that's what it looks like we're going to get right now. And why don't we just move this bad boy up? Let's see. Of course, I would never trade this size on a real account with this wide of a stop, but this is just paper, so. Take this 15 minute out of the way so you don't get confused. Yeah, and look, it very well could be that, you know, this is a standard fill, consequent encroachment of this 15-minute fair value gap, and then we go down for the day. That's fine with me. I've made my profit target for the day. So I'm not going to take, you know, unless I see something really juicy, I'm not going to take any more trades that are real for the day. Sorry guys, I just realized I've been talking to you with my Ftmo thing up on the screen here, blocking everything. So let me get rid of that. There you go. I will say I do like how the hourly candle looks. There's not really any wick on the downside. And we've almost filled in this this gap area here. We've got a breaker here as well. sloppy, but it's still breaker. See the high, the low, the higher high, and then the lowest bodied candle. Make that blue for my breaker. And there you go. Got a mitigation, well, on the 15-minute, this would probably be a mitigation block. This little fail swing here. So that's good to see. Also this, like this parent price swing that you see here as well. We're inside of a mitigation block, it would appear. Actually, we do have nearly equal lows down here, so I don't think it's done with sell side. And if that's the case, and we're inside this fair value gap, I could probably take a small position and see. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a small position. If we're wrong, we're wrong. We made some good profits today, so no big deal. Can afford to lose our 300 and still be at 50% for the overall goal, which is okay with me. Let's see, was this 5.6, 570, 564? So there's about a 6-point difference, 6 points less. So 610. Yeah, we should be fine. These nearly equal lows are resting about 60, 70-ish points below. Let's go back to our original target for the day, which is the EQ of that busy on the daily, which is what I'm also targeting for my demo trade that I had on here. Let's see where that's at. 43, so +6, because there's a 6-point spread or difference between, not spread, but difference between the data feed of Ftmo and whatever this is on TradingView. So let's say 340 plus 6, 347, 11, 347. Yeah, we can deal with that. We'll call it 11,350. Let me make sure you guys can see what I'm doing here. Yeah, you can. Okay. I'm tempted to mess with the real account, but I'd like to get a really nice entry and not a close proximity entry. And as it looks like we're already likely moving down, I'm just going to leave that alone for the day, which is just fine. Doesn't bother me a bit. That's more, I just threw a couple $100 in a real account to say, show you guys how to, how easy it is to start compounding that. We'll focus on Ftmo though. If I get any type of aggressive movement upwards, I might scratch, but I think we're done with doing that. Hopefully. We'll see. With the position size that I've used, we're about 40 points away from our stop loss, which is not bad at all, considering that I'm only doing a 10 lot. We'd lose if it does come back up and tap this order block like we thought it would, which is still possible. We're only going to lose about $200 something, which is not, that's nothing. Yeah, about 210, whatever the slippage is on that. Bump the stop loss up a little bit to come up where ICT usually puts the stop loss right above the premium line of the FEG. I know we could go all the way up here on top of this bare OB order block, but it seems like we're just digging back into the 15-minute FEG just for a few minutes, and then we should be dumping from here. And what I'm going to do is just go ahead and let this stream run, guys. I probably won't be talking, so feel free to watch, or if you want to stick around, or you can dip out, no big deal. It looks like we are likely to get stopped out here if it goes any further. When we get stopped out, I'll probably leave the stream on probably like another 10 minutes, and then we'll dip. If it starts going towards a profit target, I'll let you guys see that, so I'll just leave that on until we hit that. So either way, we've got some time before the stream is over. Okay, so that was garbage, and we got stopped out like usual when these things start pumping from the sweep of sell-side liquidity. No big deal. We're still up 1% for the day, 5% on the challenge overall. So we've been averaging about a 1% gain for each day of the challenge. If you want to average it out, we've actually taken some losses and had to recover them. We did so yesterday. So yeah, that's about it for the stream, guys. I'm going to go ahead and dip out for the day. And if I see, I may do another mini stream. I don't know. I don't want to mess up the, the count, right? I don't want to have like a extra day stream or something like that. So actually, let me do this real quick. Stop loss. Put my TP where it originally wanted to go. There we go. Yeah, so more than likely, I'm just not going to take any more trades for the day. I think that's probably the best. And we'll come back at it tomorrow morning. So I'll let this run for maybe another 10-15 minutes so you guys can see how this plays out. If you want to take a look. And that'll be it for the day. So thank you very much. I appreciate you watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. That really helps. Again, I do have a book that shows you how to build your own trading system, and you can plug any strategy into it, whether you're using ICT, indicators, any classical chart, but any type of strategy that's mathematically favorable, you can just plug it right in. And the system is designed to get you out of the way, right? Just completely remove all the variables as much as possible and simply follow rules-based executions. So you can find that on basedtradegear.com. While you're there, take a look around. If you see anything you like in terms of merch, that each one of those merch designs is limited. So it's literally 350 per design, and then we're closing that drop down. So take a look at it. Tell me what you think. basedtradegear.com. Follow me on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. And until then, you guys have a great day. Stay safe and good trading.